It's a confession to murder 18 years after the killing took place.
Ever heard of Natalee Holloway? An energetic high school senior, smart, funny, full of life. And then she vanished, just like that, gone without a trace during a trip to Aruba. It sounds like a scary movie, but this was real, and it's way darker than anything you've seen on Netflix. For 20 long years, everyone thought they knew the story. They thought they had the answers. But when the truth finally crawled out of the shadows, it turned into one of the most disturbing mysteries of our time. Everyone had their version. Everyone had their guess. But the truth stayed locked away, hidden behind lies, rumors, and heartbreak. After 2 whole decades of confusion and silence, we finally know what really happened to Natalee Holloway. And I'm telling you now, this isn't just tragic. It's pure horror. The kind of story that keeps you wide awake at night. The kind that follows you into your dreams. Let's take it from the start. Natalee was 18, straight out of Mountain Brook, Alabama. She had college plans, scholarships, and a whole future waiting for her. She was the kind of person who made you feel like anything was possible. In May 2005, Natalee went to Aruba with her classmates. Senior trip, graduation celebration, harmless fun, nothing like Project X or anything. At least that's what everyone thought. But what should have been a week of beaches and selfies turned into the worst nightmare imaginable. It all went wrong on May 30th. Natalee and her friends were out at a nightclub called Charlie's. That's when she met him. Joran van der Sloot. Tall, handsome, confident, dangerous. On the surface, he was just another guy. Underneath, he was pure evil, pretending to be normal. Natalee got into a silver car with Joran and 2 other guys. The Calpo brothers. 3 guys, 1 girl. And that was the last time anyone saw her alive. The next morning was chaos. Panic everywhere. Natalee's friends freaked out when she didn't come back. Her family got on the next plane to Aruba. The whole island got involved in the search. Beaches, forests, oceans, volunteers everywhere, helicopters in the air, boats in the water, nothing. It was like she had been erased from the earth. The media caught on. Natalee's face was suddenly everywhere. TV, newspapers, social media. The whole world wanted to know where she was. Then the focus shifted to Joran, and that's when the real horror started. He lied again and again. First he said he dropped her off at the hotel. Then he changed it to the beach. Then he claimed she wanted to be left alone. None of it made sense. And without a body, they couldn't arrest him properly. The law couldn't keep up with the lies. Years passed. Her family never gave up. The world kept watching, waiting, hoping. So how long did this nightmare go on? 2 years? 5? Number 20? This nightmare didn't just last a few months. It dragged on for 2 whole decades, while the entire world stayed in the dark. And through it all, one name kept coming up. One face stayed in the spotlight. Joran van der Sloot, the Dutch teenage student living in Aruba. Now, at first glance, you wouldn't peg him as a killer. He was tall, athletic, attractive, and came from a wealthy, respected family. The kind of guy parents would probably trust around their kids. Clean-cut, charming, but that's the thing about monsters. They don't always look like monsters. Behind that smile was something darker, and no one was ready to believe it. Or maybe they just didn't want to believe it. Because from day one, Joran's story didn't make sense, not even a little bit. He told the police he dropped Natalee off at her hotel. That sounded normal enough, right? But then, not long after, the story flipped. Now he said he didn't take her to the hotel at all. He left her alone on a beach. Confused yet? So were the police. Every single time they pressed him for answers, his story changed. Again and again. New details, different versions, like he was making it up as he went along. And then there were his 2 friends, the Calpo brothers, Deepak and Satish. They were in that car too. And guess what? Their stories kept shifting too. Sometimes they matched Joran's version. Sometimes they didn't. But the worst part? No body, no hard evidence, just suspicions, lies, and dead ends. And without physical proof, the police couldn't lock anyone up for good. They arrested Joran and the Calpo brothers multiple times, charged them, interrogated them. But every single time, they had to let them go. Because like I said before, no body, no case. While the suspects walked free, Natalee's family was stuck in a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. They begged the authorities to go harder, dig deeper, push further. But with each passing day, hope started to rot. And it didn't help that Aruba's legal system was not built to handle something like this. They weren't prepared. And Joran figured that out. He knew exactly how to play the game. Just enough information to keep the attention off him. Just enough lies to stay one step ahead. Can you even imagine how the Holloway family must have felt? Watching the person you believe killed your daughter walk around smiling like nothing happened, and you'd think that would be it. Case closed. Killer free. The world moves on. But Joran wasn't done yet. His lies were just getting started. And then something changed. Something big. In 2008, Dutch crime reporter Peter R. de Vries stepped in. He secretly filmed Joran during a sting operation and caught him on hidden camera. On tape, Joran finally confessed. What did he say? According to him, Natalee collapsed on the beach. That was his story. Just collapsed. Just like that. You buying it? No? Yeah. Neither did we. According to Joran, Natalee just collapsed and passed away. Just like that. But if that were true, why did multiple witnesses see Natalee, Joran, and the Calpo brothers getting into that silver car together? Why did they sneak around like criminals? Because they weren't giving her a ride home. They were disposing her body. If this was just some tragic accident, why not call for help? Why not call the police? Why not try to save her? Simple. Because Joran wasn't telling the truth. He never was. If Natalee had just collapsed, why hide it? Why panic? The answer is obvious now. Joran knew exactly what he had done, and every lie he told was just him buying more time. Even that hidden camera confession from 2008 turned out to be another twisted part of his game. After the video went viral, Joran laughed it off and claimed he made it all up. For him, it was all entertainment. People's pain was just fun to him. It was sick. Every time someone got close to the truth, Joran would twist it, change it, and play another round of his personal horror show. And it didn't stop there. In 2010, Joran took things to a whole new level. He tried to extort Natalee's grieving family. He promised to tell them where Natalee's body was. He'd reveal everything if they gave him $250,000. Can you imagine how cold someone has to be to do that to a family already broken by grief? The FBI caught on. They set up a sting operation to catch him. And while they got evidence of his extortion, Joran still managed to slip out of their grasp. But karma wasn't done with Joran yet. 5 years to the exact day after Natalee disappeared, Joran struck again. Another young woman, another innocent victim. This time it was Stephanie Flores, a 21-year-old student from Peru. Joran met her in a casino in Lima. She won a poker game against him, started Googling his name, and found out about his connection to Natalee's case. That was enough to set him off. Joran murdered Stephanie in a brutal attack inside a hotel room. No excuses. No running this time. No more lies to save him. The evidence was clear, the body was there, and the crime was undeniable. He was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to 28 years in a Peruvian prison. Finally, justice. Or so we thought. Even with Joran behind bars, Natalee's family still didn't have closure. They didn't have answers. No body, no grave, just endless heartbreak. Why did Joran keep doing this? Why the lies, the manipulation, the cruelty? Was it about control? Was it about ego? Or was it just pure evil? For years, it felt like the Holloway family was trapped in a nightmare that would never end. No matter how hard they fought, the truth stayed hidden. But in 2023, everything changed. Joran was finally being extradited to the United States to face charges for extorting Natalee's family. And as part of his plea deal, he agreed to confess, officially, under oath, in court. This time, there was no walking it back. And when the truth finally came out, it was worse than anyone imagined. Joran admitted he met Natalee at the club. They left together, just like everyone said. He took her to a remote beach, and when she resisted his advances, when she tried to fight him off, he snapped. Joran grabbed a cinder block. One brutal swing, one crushing blow to her head. It killed her instantly, but he wasn't finished. He dragged Natalee's body into the ocean and pushed it out to sea. The way he described it was even more chilling than the act itself. Like it didn't matter. Like she didn't matter. For 20 years, Natalee's family clung to hope. Maybe she was alive somewhere. Maybe someone would find her remains. Maybe there would be a grave, something to hold on to. But Joran's confession shattered that last piece of hope. There would be no grave, no funeral, just the endless, empty ocean, hiding one of the most horrifying crimes of our time. Joran had finally run out of places to hide. His extradition was set, the FBI was closing in, and every lie he told was about to collapse. This wasn't some emotional breakthrough. It wasn't guilt. It wasn't regret. It was about survival. Whether you like it or not, Joran didn't have some sort of an awakening. He was doing everything he could to somehow keep himself safe. Joran tried to take control of the narrative one last time. For Natalee's family, it wasn't the ending they deserved, but it was the truth. Finally, when that confession hit the headlines, all eyes turned to one person, Beth Holloway, the mother who had been fighting, screaming, and begging for answers for 20 long years. Beth searched every beach. She sat through every interview. She faced every lie Joran threw at her. Now, she stood in front of the world, finally hearing what happened to her daughter. There was relief. Yes, finally knowing, finally understanding, finally learning what happened that terrible night. But it wasn't peace. It wasn't comfort. It was heartbreak. A kind of heartbreak that words can't really describe. Beth said it herself. This confession means we finally have answers, but it's not the ending we wanted. Knowing Natalee's last moments were filled with fear, violence, and cruelty was almost too much to bear. It didn't make anything easier. It didn't bring comfort. It brought rage, and the world felt that rage with her. For 2 decades, people followed this case. They watched Beth stand tall against impossible odds. They admired her strength. They shared in her heartbreak, and now they shared her anger. Because this wasn't just murder, this was psychological torture, emotional abuse dragged out for 20 years, lies on top of lies, games on top of games, extorting a grieving mother for money, making fake confessions just to stir up media attention, twisting the truth just for his own amusement. It was cruelty at a level most of us can't even imagine. And even with Joran behind bars, it doesn't feel like enough, not even close. Yes, he was sentenced to 28 years in Peru for killing Stephanie Flores. Yes, he got another 20 years in the US for extortion and wire fraud. But the cold truth is this: he may never face a single murder charge for Natalee's death. Aruba's legal system requires hard evidence to press murder charges. And even with a full confession, that might not be enough. Too much time passed. The truth came too late, and it cost too much. Even now, with everything exposed, the story doesn't have an ending. Just echoes. Echoes of injustice, echoes of loss, echoes of a fight no family should ever have to face. These echoes may never fully fade. Anyway, that's it from my side, folks. So, what do you think? Did Joran van der Sloot still win by dragging this family through hell for decades? Is this how things played out? Or is the actual truth still somewhere out there? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more chilling stories in the future. Thanks for watching and see you next time.